Yo, what up, world? It's your boy C's from theclife.com. Welcome back to the people's favorite channel on the internet. Today, we're going to shoot it straight, man. So far, this month of October has been quite a bizarre month. So, I feel it is my duty to, as a contributor and a content creator to the internet, let me address a few things. And also lean on some phrases that I've learned and some principles that I've learned along the way from the OGs, right? And one of those phrases in the title, always stack hay in the barn. Shout out to one of my clients who bestowed that wisdom upon me. And the gist of it is, you always gotta stack. You always gotta have some sort of safety net, some sort of cushion to land when you fall, because you're always going to fall. It is just part of nature. It's like to progress, fall, get up, get back again, progress, fall, get up, get back again, right? So you always got to keep some sort of savings, right? And there's a lot of people, me included, growing up, it's like go to work, get as much money as you possibly can, try to earn as much money within that time allowed, whether it's getting $15 an hour, $10 an hour, $50 an hour. We always equated money with time because that's what we were programmed to do, right? It's like you spend time within four walls, right? You do your bid, then you go out, go home, and wash, rinse, and repeat, right? So always, the reason why you want to always stack is because while you're working, you want your money to work for you. Now, that's a topic that we can discuss in the future, like how you can get money to work for you. But first, in order for you to get money to work for you, you have to understand how to work, because you are a number just like money, right? And money is exchanged for products, goods, and services. You are also doing some sort of product, goods, or services, right? For me, I'm a personal trainer. That's what I exchange some time for. And within that umbrella of personal training, I can do online coaching. I can create guides. I can create different things that can work for me while I am with a client. So 24 hours a day, I could send traffic to my exercise guides, to my online coaching, to my other different information products, right? While I am working, so that when a client is gone for the summer, which every trainer knows, that is like the dry season for personal training. Some people thrive in the summer, some people fall to the wayside, right? Usually that's when the biggest trainer turnover happens. It's like that, like last month and a half of the summer. That's when every client goes away, your money dwindles, and the bills still come, right? So when you have an exercise guide, when you have an information product, you can start diverting your energy from lead generation to trying to get people to purchase that and go through that, right? A course and whatnot. That way it is working round the clock. And while your client's away, you can just focus on, you can do both at the same time. Provide that client with some exercise guides and see if how did that work for them, and then, scale that, right? So just thinking of that, but first it starts with actually doing the work. You got to understand like the mechanics of your job as a personal trainer, as a nail technician, as a hairdresser. You have to know the inner workings so that when you're giving instructions, because that's all your manual is, your guide is, it's just verbal written instructions of what someone should do in order to get the outcome that you were able to produce for yourself or your clients. So start with the work, like get to work. And oftentimes, like I'm thinking back, like there was several writings on the wall But it's just when you're in the rat race, it's just like what it's just surviving, man. And it feels good to breathe a little bit of fresh air when you're not constantly surviving like that. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be stacking some hay still in the barn. You should always be working so that while you're working, even when your money is paying for your lifestyle, right? Like you have enough assets to pay for your cost of living, you still want to be able to work. Like you'll see millionaires and billionaires still put in those 16-hour days, right? Because they understand they're, at the end of the day, you're merely an instrument, right? You are an instrument of God, right? You're an instrument of God and his will, right? And you can do what he commands or not. When you do what he commands, you'll have things that work in your favor because that is in his will. He's like, yo, like will and testament, like where you think it came from, right? You want to be able to like be used as an instrument, because if you are not used, right, what happens? Like if you leave any instrument onto itself with no maintenance, with no usage, it just tends to disintegrate. It tends to deteriorate, right? And that's the same thing with you. If you are not using yourself as an instrument, you're going to slow, and you think that money, like your assets are going to pay. No, you still gonna have to put in work. Like clients that I've seen, that I worked with, the most successful clients, they put in work, man. They have their routine where they can have fun. You know, they play their golf, they travel, they go on their vacations, they go skiing, they go on boat trips, but they're still put in that work, right? It doesn't matter how many millions they have, they still put in that work. So if you're sitting home and you're thinking like, yo, what do I need to do? If you don't have a clear answer, go get you some orders, meaning go get a job, like go get you a job, whether it's at Mickey D's or whatever, right? Go get you, like, go into a customer service job. Like, as much as I hate customer service jobs, it taught me so much, right? Into like communication skills and stuff like that, right? So you need to find some way where you're actually producing something. It doesn't matter about the money up. Like, I know technically, yes, it is about the money, but the mere fact that you're actually working, even if it's like $10 an hour, $15 an hour, don't stay there. It's just a mere step in several other steps, right? So first, it might be that $10 an hour job, right? That just, maybe you have to move back in with your moms and stay in the mom's basement. Like, don't rush. I didn't leave the nest like that early. I stayed and I stacked, right? I stayed in my mama crib, no shame whatsoever. I just had a plan, like, yo, I gotta buy my freedom. So in order to buy my freedom, I need money. And if I go rent a place, that's just somebody else's, I'm just feeding somebody else's pocket. So what can I do? How can I consolidate? And the clear answer, all of this happened in a flash too. It was like instinctual. It's like, yo, they ain't nothing. I always wanted to own my crib. So I was going to save for a house, save for some real estate. And yes, I failed horribly along the way. But with that failure, there was plenty of wisdom and knowledge. Like, yo, you did the right thing by failing at this. Now you understand what not to do. Now go ahead and figure out what you need to do. So went to different teachers and just picked different philosophies that aligned with my vision. And along that way, it just gave me a work ethic. Like, yo, you're never going to stop working. And I live to this. I live by this till this day. Like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes, man. That whatever it takes under like what God commands me to do, right? And yo, man, like whatever it takes. And even if I wind up as a greeter at Walmart, I'll know wholeheartedly that, yo, I did everything and left it all on the table, right? I left it all on the table. So I'm gonna do whatever it takes to stack that hay. And even when the hay is overflowing in that barn, I'm gonna be like, all right, let's build a new barn, right? Let's build a new barn. So just to bring it back full circle, what you want to do, and this is advice for my younger brothers, like people like, yo, this is what I figured out, is you're going to have to stack that hay in your barn, right? And we've mentioned that in plenty previous episodes before, but again, human beings, we need to hear things 10,000 times, 10,000 different ways. So here is another way in one of those 10,000 different ways, right? You want to get money. You want to save that money. You want to then take some of those savings when you saved enough and put it into assets that pays you, right? Whether it's real estate, whether it's in stocks, crypto, money, like assets that pay you, right? Or like grow in value. And you're going to want to keep doing that over and over and over again. And even when you have enough assets to pay for your lifestyle, you still want to keep working, because again, you are a tool, you're an instrument of God. You still have to do his bidding, right? You still have to contribute to the world in whatever shape or form, right? You have to figure out some type of way to contribute and be a contributor to your community and into the world as whole, right? Because the way that things are heading, man, with the censorship and all that, it's getting crazy out there, folks. And I'm sure it's all cyclical, right? You have this new revolution of content creators, right? Those guys were hip hop back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Now there's like podcasters, there are content creators who are coming out, and it's sort of like an underground sort of genre, right? And with that, there's going to come opposition. And I've seen several content creators in this genre. I don't know what it's called yet. Maybe it's a hip hop genre, whatever. I've seen a lot of them getting canceled, man. One in particular grew up on YouTube. He grew up on YouTube, like started posting since he was 13, like 15 years maybe. And they just took all of his channel, his whole channel, like every video that he ever created, just erased, just like that, because somebody don't like what you say or how you said it. It's real out here, man. And I kept on saying, like, Project Decentralized Media, and you're gonna have to take your audience and build your own. I know it's not an easy feat, right? It takes a lot, because these platforms have grabbed our attention so much, and we're dependent on it so much, right? To exchange ideas and have conversations, but it's always just one-sided. It's never like back and forth. And they get to write history. But with this platform, I'm just gonna create my own, like my own movies. I'm actually working on a film right now that I could like have as mine, like just studying the greats like John Singleton, Spike Lee. I'm studying them because they started sort of like me with no formal knowledge in, well, actually John Singleton, but there are some directors with no formal like knowledge in directing that just comes up and just blows up and have like all these like cultural cult sort of films, right? So I'm just starting to create my own little buzz, like Tyler Perry, right? All these people that paved the way, your Kevin Hart's of the world, like just creating their own network. And it's a strategic partnership with like all these platforms. And that is my vision, is to have a strategic partnership so that it's not me depending on you. It's like we are equal partners. We come together, we work, we, put together a beautiful piece of art and keep it pushing. Because at the end of the day, God just wants to see beautiful things. He wants to be surrounded with beautiful things, and he uses us as his instruments to produce those beautiful things so that he can enjoy and look at what my creators created. It's a beautiful thing, beautiful way of thinking, man. So we're going to talk about digging deep into your creative energy further along as we continue these weekly discussions. And again, it's a conversation. It's not me talking to you. Hit me down in the comments. Let me know what you feeling. Let me know what you want to discuss. Cause these times, man, world is super sensitive, yo. So anyway, again, and wait, one more phrase that I want to say that another OG told me, don't stress yourself trying to save the world. Save yourself. And of course you're gonna think why should I stress about? But trust me, you are going to stress about trying to save the world, because you're gonna come to a point where you've done so much and you're gonna look back and you're gonna yo, man, is it enough? Did I do enough? You did, but it's just the world hasn't conformed. It's a very complex layer. So just focus on saving you, your community, your loved ones, and keep it pushing, man. You can be that patch of beautiful roses surrounded by all the fire and inferno and whatnot. But yeah, stick to you and your beliefs and your principles, and always be open to adopting new principles, because there are so many different things that you think you understand, but as you continue to dig deeper, you're I don't really know as much. So just focus on keeping it as you stay open. Don't close anything off, because when you close things off, you sort of close different opportunities from coming towards you, right? So open yourself up to understanding and adopting different principles and philosophies. One straight and narrow road, life ain't like that, man. The terrain is rough and rugged, so you're gonna have to adapt. Into the path, because there's gonna be some rocks and boulders that you have to climb. There's gonna be some soft dirt that's gonna slide you back several feet, you're gonna come across those things, right? And you're gonna need some sort of strong principles to stand on to keep you heading up that hill. But anyway, that's what I had to say for today. And again, man, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to drink water, get money, mind your business.